I'm going to show you exactly how to make a front page game that could make you millions of Robux. First, you need to know about Andrew Bereza because he is the reason this opportunity exists. Before I tell you about him, let me know in the comments how you would use 800 Robux because I'm going to do a giveaway. Just like the video, comment below, and I'll tell you exactly how to win the Robux at the end of the video. Andrew Bereza is a full-time Roblox developer. He's one of Forbes 100 most dangerous men in coding. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's in his Twitter bio, so it must be. More importantly, his games have gotten hundreds of millions of visits. I added up the place visits on 7 of his games, and the visits totaled over 300 million visits. So, as you can imagine, this translates into millions upon millions of Robux. He obviously knows how to make great games. Believe it or not, back in September 2019, he open sourced Miners Haven, which is a game with over 172 million visits. If you go to Bereza's GitHub, which I'll link in the description, you can download the entire game for free. This game is a complete blueprint to success. I'm going to show you exactly how you can use this free game in order to make millions of Robux, but first I want to tell you about another great opportunity. This video is sponsored by Core. Core is a new game creation platform that lets you build, publish, and play games. There are thousands of free assets to get you started, but of course I'm sure a lot of you are going to want to get into the coding aspect of Core. Fortunately, Core uses Lua, so it's super easy to jump right into Core from Roblox and start making some awesome games in no time. The platform is completely free, so use the link in the description to download Core. Core is also hosting the Core Invitational Game Jam with $140,000 in prizes, including a Tesla Model 3. My friend Metal Guntalk and his team made $5,000 by competing in the first Core Invitational. Their game SCO Shatter Multiverse won an honorable mention. The game jam runs from August 12th to September 13th, and only 50 creators will be accepted. Applications are open right now, so use the link in the description to apply today. If you want to play some fun games, then download Core, and don't forget to add me as a friend. My username is CyberCreator. Thanks again to Core for sponsoring this video. Once you download Miners Haven from the GitHub page, open it up and then publish the game. So go to Home, click on Game Settings, and click on Publish. Give the game a name. I'll name it Mining Game, and then I'll go on and click on Create. Once you get to this page, you know you've successfully published your game. This is a really important step if you want to actually be able to play test your game, so make sure you do it. Right after publishing your game, go back to the game settings and go to Security, and then enable Studio Access to API Services. This is another thing that you need to do in order to actually be able to play the game inside of Studio. Next, we can start learning how to make millions of Robux. So there isn't much in the workspace, as you can see, but if you go to the Explorer right here, if you don't see the Explorer, click on View, then click on Explorer, and it'll show up. Go to the Explorer and look through it. You'll see that there's thousands of different assets and scripts that you can look through, and these are all concrete examples of how to make a front page game. This shows you how to organize your code, how to build a UI, how to do anything that makes a front page game. So now I'll go over a few basic examples of how you can use this. A really basic example is, as you can see, when you spawn into the game, you spawn with this flashlight. So if I take it out, it lights up, and I can click, it turns off, click again, and it turns on. So we can see exactly how this flashlight is made. If you go to the Explorer and click on Starter Pack, and then go to the flashlight, open up this script, you can see the script that makes this flashlight. Now I know this isn't exactly the most exciting example, but it's just a start of where you can look to see how something functions. So this is how the flashlight functions. I'm not going to go through all of it, but as you can see whenever it's activated, so whenever you click, this code right here is executed, and we're changing the brightness of the flashlight or the spotlight that's on it, and then playing some sound. So that's a super basic example right there. Now we're gonna go over a slightly more complicated example, but it's definitely more useful. Back in Explorer and replicated storage, you'll see that there's a bunch of remote functions and remote events, and one of the module scripts in here is called moneylib. So go ahead and find that. You can search for it up here by typing in moneylib. You'll see this, it's for money library, and this module script is used to add a suffix to different numbers and to actually kind of shorten them. So for example, 1000 would be turned into 1K, and also adding a $sign, and I'll show you how this works here. But you could scroll through this and kind of figure out how this works, or you could use it just knowing exactly how it works by looking at examples. But it's good to definitely read through this and understand how it works. But this is the function that we're going to be using, handle money. So I'll go through an example. If you go to View and click on Command Bar right here to get the command bar to show up, it should show up at the very bottom of your screen most likely. I went ahead and detached it so I can move it to the center so it stands out a little bit more. Unfortunately, I can't make it any bigger, but basically what we're gonna do, go right here, we'll type in moneylib equals require game.replicatedStorage.moneylib, and that's just to get the whole module script into this moneylib variable right here. It's the tables inside of it now. So we run that, and then afterwards we're going to type in this print moneylib.handleMoney100 and execute that. Down here in the output, if you don't have the output, make sure you go to view and click on output, and the output will show up. Down here, as you can see, 100 with a $ was printed. So that's what that function does, but it's a little bit cooler if you type in 1000. You'll see it's shortened to 1K, and if you just keep going on and on, you'll see there's all these different suffixes that it's adding. So 10K, it's the same, 100K, it's the same. If we add in a few more zeros though, you'll see we got 10 million, and so on and so forth. You can see all the suffixes up here. So we got, K for thousands, millions, billions, trillions, and so on. So this is a really cool module script. I'm sure you can use this in a lot of games, because a lot of games you'll be, whether you're using different points, gold, or some form of money in your game, this is definitely a useful module script. There's so many different functions and module scripts in this game, which is why this game can be so valuable if you know how to use it properly. So another thing you could check out is the placement module. If you click a part, you can click move item, and you can move it around, and then you can click again to place it. And this is all defined within the placement module script. And you might not necessarily want to take everything from this. For example, you might just want to take a few functions here or there to make your system easier to define. For example, you can see that there's this set all part properties function. So I'll just copy this. I opened up a new game, and just to demonstrate what this does, I'll go ahead and paste it in the command bar. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call that function on this tree. So you set all properties on this pine tree, takes the property that we're going to change, the brick color, as a string, the value that we want to set it to, and then you can exclude different parts. So I'll put this as false for now. And if I run it, then you can see every part in this model was changed to the brick color red. Now if I just undo that real quick, say I have a part in here. As you can see, there's a part on the top, and I actually just added that for this example. I named it excluded, and if I paste this, a table, and it's referencing this excluded part inside of the model, so workspace, pine tree, excluded. Now when I run this, you'll see that every part in this model other than this excluded part was changed to the brick color red. So going back here, you could just look through this and kind of figure out how it works. Unfortunately, there's not comments on all of these functions, but luckily you can figure out what it's doing from the name for the most part. So this function set all part properties. You can see it's taking a model, and you can see it's taking a property, a value, and then took a second to realize what this meant. It's just the exclusive table. So that means we're going to set the properties for all parts within, or all objects within this model to this value, other than those in this exclusive table. We're almost to the Robux giveaway, but there's still a few more things to talk about. As I said before, you can look to see how the player GUI is actually organized, and you can copy that, replicate that in your game. For example, if you want to see how he got this inventory system or this menu system over here on the left side, then go ahead and go to your player while you're in the game. You can scroll down, go to player GUI, open that up, and you can scroll through to see which ones are kind of like always there. And then we have this GUI, screen GUI. If you open that up, you'll see there's a bunch of stuff, but there's a few frames here. You can scroll through and kind of see where they are with the faint blue outline that shows up. As you can see, he has a HUD bottom, left, right, top. It's organized just like that. So maybe that's something you would also want to replicate in your game. just to make the placement a little bit easier. As you can see, if you want to see how to make the inventory button look like this, if you go through, you'll see that's in the HUD left because it's behind this blue box. So if we open that up, you can see there's buttons, and if we open that up again, you'll see there's a bunch of different buttons here, and you can go click this. As you can see, we have a image button here. You can look through and see how he has all of this organized, and you could copy that into your game as well. Andrew Bereza is providing millions of Robux worth of value by open sourcing this game, so if you're going to use this code, please do follow the rules of the license. The license allows games to use any amount of the source material, but have an otherwise unique identity and branding to be monetized freely. Don't call your game Miners Haven basically, or use the Miners Haven brand if you're going to use the content commercially. Now it's time for the 800 Robux giveaway rules. To enter the giveaway, make sure you comment how you would use the Robux, like the video, and then add me on Core using the link in the description or the pinned comment. I'll announce the winner of the Robux in my Discord server on August 2nd. As always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video if it helped you out, comment any questions below, and subscribe for more in the future.